Hello viewers, welcome to Candid Conversations with Ganesh Kuppala. In recent times, you have seen me speaking to a lot of doctors talking about health, mental health and all that stuff, various health factors, right? And while I was talking to the doctors, I realized financial health is one of the major factors of mental health issues as well. So during the conversations, I realized that I need to bring somebody who talks about finance as a primary point of view, right? So today I'm proudly bringing a financial health doctor to us. Mr. Raja Kanakamedala is here with us, who had tremendous amount of decades of career in financial matters, and he's also CEO for WealthMax Financial Services and does extensive amount of work in the finance space. Today, I'm really proud to bring a finance doctor to us. Welcome to the show, Raja, and thank you so much for taking time and coming over here.
Thank you, Ganesh. It's such a pleasure to meet all the audience through your podcast. Your journey actually keeps on inspiring me.
Thank you.
In fact, couple of times I have been showing your videos to our team to get the inspiration.
Thank you.
And such an honor to spend the time with you today on your podcast.
Brilliant. And while talking about the journeys, right, Raja, I mean, each of our journeys are exceptional, right? I mean, sometimes when I, as part of my research, going into the podcast, I was looking at your journey. And do you want to quickly, I mean, you had really humble background. You came from India and built such an empire in UK. Could you please explain me your journey from India to UK and then how you built this finance empire of WealthMax?
Okay, great. Ganesh, like most of our generation, we came from agriculture families. So my father is an agriculture supervisor.
Okay.
And my mom is educated, but she's a housemaker. And most of my extended family, they are into agriculture.
Okay.
Basically, with agriculture, like your roots come from very humble backgrounds. And when you talk about leadership, employee retention, employee satisfaction, team spirit, these are the skills I have learned more than the corporate boardrooms. I learned from my elders and how they manage their sales force, how they manage their workers. Like some of the workers, believe me, Ganesh, have been working with our family for 35 years. They worked with my grandfather. They worked with my father. I'm not doing agriculture, but they're still working in our fields. And one of the main reasons for their loyalty is the way we care for them and the way we respected them. So most of the entrepreneurs of our generation, South of Asia, they came from agricultural backgrounds. I think the initial stigma of leadership started from that sector. Again, education during our time, and with your personal journey, you can watch for it. Is actually, it's more of a privilege. And gracefully and thankfully, I have very hardworking parents, and they have sponsored my education. And I've done schooling from very good schools. Did my graduation from Loyola. Did my master's from Pune University.
Wow.
And after my master's, I started my career with Bajaj Allianz Pune, and then moved to ING Group. So 2008 is the year where the turning point happened. So I won the prestigious Grand Slam Award, and that year the award was given in London. So
you were with ING Vaishya.
Yes.
Okay.
It's ING Vaishya, then became ING and Excite.
Yeah.
So what turns out to be a 5-day, 6-day fun trip with taking an award. But when I came to UK, I have realized the potential of financial services. Wow. So I thought okay, why can't I come to UK and start my career in financial services? So I came on HSNP in 2009 with the young aspirations, as you know.
Yeah.
Started my career with MetLife UK. And in 2017, we have co-founded WealthMax with my business partner, Mr. Mandip Singh. And one of the main reasons of setting up WealthMax during my journey as a protection advisor, I could see a clear gap in getting quality mortgage advice and pension advice and Wilson estate planning, especially to the South Asian community and the first generation. When people come on the first generation, financial planning was not in their priority list. Most probably the priority list is to just make some money, do some savings.
Settle down fast.
Not really, not really on the financial planning side.
You touch a very interesting point, because when anybody like NRIs or people from Pakistan or South Asian regions, they all come here with aspirations, you rightly mentioned, because, from third world countries or developing nations to a known, well-developed country like UK, back then. I mean, today India is shining and we are fourth largest economy in the world. But back then it is a different story, right? I mean, you're looking forward to, Western community so that, you can make a mark. Especially, I think you brought up a really interesting point. When you moved from, or you traveled from India to UK to take the award, you have seen the potential of UK, right?
Yes.
And it's not going to surprise me because I'm from the same background, finance and tax background, and we always used to think like, finance capital of the world is London, right?
Yes.
All the bankers, HSBC, Citi, you call any bank,
Yes.
the world banking hub is in London. It's quite obvious you are thinking like that, which is amazing. So, but yeah, before getting into the details of like how WealthMax operates, Raja, I want to understand is, you worked in this, you had corporate journey from, MetLife in UK, and before this, ING Vaishya, Bajaj Alliance. While Bajaj Alliance is also kind of a foreign merged company. Bajaj is an Indian company. Alliance is a German one. Same with ING and Vaishya. Vaishya Bank, again for the audience, Vaishya was like Indian bank and then merged or collaborated with ING and then brought to ING Vaishya. MetLife is another thing. And MetLife also operates in India. So, but you did not start your journey from MetLife India, but you picked up that here.
Yes.
Okay. So, moving from the corporate journey to be an entrepreneur, starting a new company and getting regulated and all, because especially in the finance space, getting regulated, being certified is a big deal. How was that journey? Are you an FCA regulated company, and how does that WealthMax work?
Okay, so again, just slightly going back to why WealthMax, what is the intention of starting up a WealthMax? And Ganesh, thanks to all my clients. UK is a very mature market.
Correct.
At 34, probably I'm extremely doing well where I am at. But I always have seen a gap. Me being a protection advisor, I've seen a gap to my clients, especially to get a good quality mortgage advice. And I have also seen that, okay, people are not really serious on pensions or wills and estate planning. So what I thought is, why can't one advisor cannot deal with all the requirements in general? So I thought like, okay, there are a lot of talented financial advisors. Why can't we bring them under one platform? We are still working and we are meeting our clients. We know the client requirements. So in fact, WealthMax was started just not as a company itself, but it started as a network of financial advisors who gives the best customer service, taking customers' requirements as paramount. That was the reason why WealthMax started. Today, yes, our advisors give advice on insurance, mortgage, pensions, commercial lending, wills and estate planning. So this is what we do, and we have been doing it since 2017 to till date, quite successfully. Yes, we are regulated, and regulation is quite important. Okay, following the compliance is very good important, and it is all about taking care of the client as a part of consumer duty, and that protects the client and that protects the business as well. Especially in financial services, the regulations plays a pivotal role to protect the clients.
Yeah, it's interesting, and you being like, I thought that's a very interesting point you brought in. Like, you were group of financial advisors coming together, and then building your own company, right? I mean, what's exciting there is like everyone feels as a owner of the company, right? So each of your advisors, maybe they are freelancers.
Yes, they are
self-employed people. Oh, that's amazing, stunning. But so, unlike being an employee, you're like your own owner, and you have bunch of them coming together, and that's a very good approach actually. Kudos to you, Raja. And one more question is, how is your approach? I mean, because the reason I'm asking this question, audience, is like, I met Raja in multiple community events. He's very close to Telangana or Telugu or like Tamil, or you talk any community, right? A bunch of community. Raja is found everywhere, and WealthMax is found everywhere. So your approach, I thought it's different comparatively. How do you define your approach? Like, what is your, whereas traditional banking is one way, right? I mean, where you go to high street banks, get finances, advised and all. Whereas your approach is completely different. So how do you define your approach?
I think, Ganesh, I'll be very honest with in this scenario is that sometimes there's a game between talent and hard work. The best news is I know I'm not that talented.
Oh, really?
So I had to compensate with hard work. And see, when I started my career, especially in UK, sales is not as the same as software. Because we have to understand the culture, different scenarios. Working in Asian markets is different to Europe markets. So what I've seen is that what extra I can bring on the table to my clients And what I have clearly observed, especially with Asians or Africans or the first generation in general, it's a global market anyway. So for the first generation, like if they want a good quality financial advice, the clients has to go to the advisor's office, okay, or they can only get advice over the phone. All right. But if you look at most of my clients, 99% of my clients, they work from 9 to 5. They're only free in the evenings or they're free in the weekends.
Yeah.
Okay. And my approach was simple. Why can't I give a face-to-face advice? Going to their client's place, understanding their financial situations better, because when I go to client, I could meet their family,
Yeah.
I can meet their kids, I can understand their culture, I can understand the real gaps and give them the real advice, which I believe traditional financial advisors advising over the phone probably fails. Even if the client comes to office, they might fail to understand the actual requirements of the clients.
So the personal connect is your
It's
differentiator.
always there. Yes, yes.
So people call you like a friend, instead of looking at as advisor.
Yes.
Raja is one of our family member or extended family member, so can we speak to him? And probably it's almost like doctors, right? That's a reason. That's a core reason why I called Raja as a finance doctor, primarily because when you go to doctor, you explain him. You have that personal connect. You have your personal doctors and all. And Raja, you have been the finance doctor for a lot of people in that way. One question I always been asked by the community, especially in the space where we are, as you rightly mentioned, we are first generation diaspora people, irrespective of which country we are from, but we always have a few things as an aspiration. Generally, when a South Asian community person comes into UK or US, for example, the first target for them is to kind of settle down and, mature themselves as a, ILR or whatever it is, right? During this process, we actually forget about how we can kind of plan our finances.
future, yes.
What do you think are the most common mistakes that are done by a lot of these people in the initial stages of financial journey? Or if I have to change my question, when do you think the people who are traveling to UK should start their financial journey?
Yes. Okay. I would say they should start their financial journey from day one, if that is possible.
Yeah.
But see, the common mistakes, and it's a very valid question, Ganesh, and I would like to tell to all your viewers, especially who are first generation in this country, is that you have to ensure that you plan your finances from day one. You need to have a very strong strategy. You need to have a strategy for your short term, like, for example, buying a house. So what are the amount of savings I need to do? How I have to have my deposit strategy, like midterm goals, like getting kids into private education, and you need to plan quite in advance, and the long-term strategy of retirement planning. Okay, it sounds like what I've seen with most of the first generation is, we have just come in, let us chill us out, let us send some money back home in an ideal scenario, and let's plan our future later. And I have seen a lot of professionals with very fantastic packages. And when I speak to them in their mid-40s or late 40s, the old financial planning has not been there in the books. That's a common mistake I see. And the second mistake, what I also see is, Ganesh, and it's quite, painful, that they don't have adequate savings. You never know when things turn. I believe that we need to have at least savings of 1 year in the bank account, just to ensure that if something goes wrong, your family is well protected. And the most common mistake which people do is they don't have adequate protection. Okay, when it comes to insurance, especially whether it is a life insurance or a critical illness or income protection, that comes last to them. That should come first. Let's keep it in this way. I'm here with you, and tomorrow if I cannot work due to any accident or sickness, I have my bills to pay.
Yeah.
And just an income protection policy will cover those bills.
Yeah.
Right? And if at all I'm critical ill, that might take a couple of years for me to recover.
Yeah.
And I need to have a good critical illness plan built up.
Yeah.
And I have 2 kids. They are dependent on me. And touch wood, and if I am alive, probably 75, 80, 85, with lot life expectancy, it might be 90 in future. But if something happens to me, touch wood, if that ever happens to me, as of yesterday, let's keep it that way, my kids are dependent on me, and they take their own time to become independent. So a life insurance is important. And some common mistakes are that people do not even know much about the tax planning. Okay.
So true.
So the limits of tax planning and all the stuff.
So true.
And they don't. Okay, with first generation, and I always see this mistake as something like estate planning. They don't do it. I would say close to 85 to 90% of the initial people who come to UK in the last 15 years, they have done estate. And I also advise to SMEs, Ganesh, in financial services as a part of financial planning. And when I ask them, with 100 million turnover, I ask them, do you have a will? They say, oh, will is for the wealthy, I don't have much. Right? No, will is not for the wealthy, right? You need to have a will in place just to ensure that if you have minor kids, a guardian is appointed, how your wishes. It helps you to mitigate the court delays, disputes in the family. So my advice to all your viewers is please do your financial planning, call a certified or a type planning consultant and get things done.
You've spoken about a lot of things. Let me dissect. That's a lot of information, right? It's amazing you spoke about all of that. But let me dissect and get into each of them separately, right? Because one of the things which mostly asked by my audience as well, because I'm also tax guy, is two things, right? One, back home, if you're coming from India, you have this ITC, medical insurance is covered under tax benefits and all.
Yes.
And when people come here, the standard notion is because I have NHS, so I don't have to pay for insurance. Because anything happens, I can get into NHS. And all of us understand how NHS operates, right? I don't want to comment on it, but we know how it operates. Two is generally people think most of the South Asian community comes on skilled worker visa.
Yes.
If not students, but other sectors. So they come with a company, for example, they've been hired by multinational corporations in UK. So they generally have some insurance covered as part of it.
Yes, that's right.
This is the second question, right? Do I need to still go for life insurance or do I need to still go for health insurance? Apart from that is a general question. I'll pause another question also to you. The third question is, most of the people think that, I'm still surprised, not like 70%, 80%, 90% of the people I spoke to thinks that they cannot buy home in UK until they have ILR.
Okay.
These are all myths. I want to burst those myths. And can you please talk about one of this? So talking about one, whether I have to take health insurance or life insurance. And is it important even if I have NHS covered and all that stuff? That's one. Two is who can buy home in UK?
Fantastic. Thanks, Ganesh. And I hope my answers will be helpful to your viewers. So number one is that if someone who has come to this country through a company route, ICT or prior to whatever it is, they have some benefits by the employer. One of the benefits is called death in service. Some companies provide one time of salaries. The other companies provide 2 times of salary. There are certain companies who does 4 times of salary. But what is 1 time of salary? For example, if your salary is £50,000, just a 50,000 life cover. Okay. I would always tell my client, look, write your expenses for the month, multiply by 12. If my expenses are £4,000 per year, it is 48,000.
Correct.
Right? And my youngest kid is 9 years. By the time he completes his master's, it will be 23. And to become independent, to go through those internships and other stuff and get a good job by me 25, right?
Correct.
So my younger kid is dependent on me for next 16 years.
Correct.
And 16 into 48 or 50,000 a year. So you're talking about something around 800,000 plus, right?
That's a lot of money.
Again, with inflation, didn't add up all that.
Correct.
How does a 50,000 death in service really work? That's first question. The second one is, yes, you can love your profession, but you don't know when your employer stops loving you.
Correct.
Right? The day you decided to move from your employer, that insurance is part of group insurance. You cannot take it forward.
Correct.
Yeah?
Correct.
And in case, if your health goes for a toss in this period, it's very hard to get an insurance policy by yourself. So my request is, guys, UK, the mortality rates for insurance, especially insurance pricing, is quite competitive when you compare to Asian markets. You spend £100 to get a term insurance in India, the same price you probably will get it at £35 or £32. It's quite cheaper, right? I would say good value.
True.
Have your own life insurance policy.
irrespective of whether company gives
irrespective
or
of
not.
company gives or not, because that's an added benefit. Kindly do not consider that as insurance to protect you for rest, because the moment you leave the job, that insurance stops, and if your health changes, that's a real serious challenge.
I think it's very logical also. Mathematically, I think that, thanks for bringing that up. You have kid, as Raja was mentioning, and there's a dependence of 16 years, for example, and it could be smaller, lesser. Like if you talk about that, if you mathematically do it, right? I mean, if you have a 5-year-old kid, you know that until 23 or 25, or for example, 20, you have 15 or 20 more years to cover for that kid.
Yeah.
And going with that calculation, 800,000 to $1 million is what you need at least as a cover, and where your employer only covers you for 40, 50K. And that's a very good way of breaking it down. I think thank you so much for bringing that and breaking the myth. So audience suggestion is, like, irrespective whether your employer has it or not, it's advised to go for a life insurance or protection,
for protection
service
guaranteed,
guarantee from there. Second myth about housing.
About housing, okay. I understand the challenges of first generation, guys. It's very important to have good credit score from day one.
Yeah.
Okay. The regular mistakes, which not always the people from ICT or Tier 2 does, but the students does is they might miss some direct debits. Kindly do not do that. Do not buy costly phones which you cannot pay on a monthly basis, please. Okay. So please, building a credit profile from day one is very important. Okay. Number two, yes, especially when you are in ICT or in Tier 2, with the package what you have, yes, you need to have a strong profile to get mortgage in this country. Agreed. But what I would advise all your viewers is, like, please give a call to WealthMax. Our senior mortgage advisors will come on a Teams call. We'll try to understand your demands and needs. Okay. Now there are lenders, there are specialist lenders. Depending on your requirement, we will provide you the strategies for your deposit. That is number one. How to build your deposit. Number two, what are the banks that will offer you? Okay. Yes, it's competitive at the moment, but there are special lenders who will cover you for the mortgages.
Correct.
And in some cases, even the high street banks would come and jump in it. So getting a mortgage when you have a good credit profile, a disciplined financial plan already set up, it would be it's running on a cake. A lot of our clients, especially the Tier 2 clients, in fact, my own staff, Ganesh, on the third year, they bought their properties.
Yeah.
Right. Sometimes different strategies like shared ownership, you can get on the
Help to
property
buy.
ladder quite easy. Yes, help to buy. Yes.
So I think one thing that we want to loud and clear say that you don't need ILR to buy a house.
Not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
All that you need is a good credit score. And most of the people watch, I was also trying to look into this stuff recently, Raja, and most of the banks look for 2 years as a normal.
Yes.
There are some banks which are okay for 18 months as well.
Yes.
But most of them probably look for 2 years. So for the skilled worker visa holders or people who are coming here on ICT or any other routes, what your route is. But what is very clear is, if you have a good credit score, if you have a couple of years, like 18 months to 2 years, you are eligible to go ahead and buy a house.
Yes.
And just speak to a good mortgage advisor. That's all you need. And I think, what I wanted to call out really very clearly here is, like, when you compare to Indian market especially, or the South Asian markets, the mortgage rates are much, much lower here.
Absolutely.
Very, very cheap. Like there are 3.9 is the Bank of England rate
At the moment.
at the moment, and which is probably back home in India 8.5 is the normal SBI rate, right, that we used to talk about. Okay, that's amazing. So those two are very, very important factors. But other than that, is there any sections, like how do you categorize, like if you have to talk about WealthMax particularly, how do you unpack your services? Are there like liability planning? Is it like lifestyle planning? And there is, you have various plannings, right?
Yes.
Do you want to dissect that and quickly tell me how this framework works?
See, basically, when you talk the different framework works, guys, I'll just give an idea of protection framework, how it works. Especially protection is quite important for every person. The moment you come to this UK, the first thing you need to have a protection plan, because if you have some financial dependents back home or here, you need to have a protection plan, or even for that matter, life or a critical illness plan. So the way I look at clients is, for example, Ganesh, if I meet you in person, one thing that if you have liability, you have a mortgage, okay, so you need to have liability planning.
Correct.
Because yes, house is an asset. It's an emotion, and we all need that as a part of getting onto your asset portfolio. House is an asset, but loan is a liability, right? Mortgage is a liability. Now, our dependents should inherit our assets, not our liabilities.
Correct.
So liability planning plays a very important role. Might be the mortgages for 25, 30 years.
And what are the products when you talk about liability planning? What are your products?
I'm talking about basically the mainly the residential mortgages, buy-to-lets, of course, even personal loans for that matter.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have insurance to protect them, something like a life or critical illness, if at all I'm critically ill, I do not worry about my mortgage, that's paid off. If
That's paid off monthly generally?
no, it's
Is it paid off fully?
It's paid off fully.
Okay.
Okay, because with critical illness, like you probably will not be the same ever again. So it's paid off fully. And for example, in case of if I'm unable to work due to any accident or sickness, right, I cannot work again, right? So an income protection will cover my mortgages.
Correct.
Okay, so that's part of liability planning. And to be very honest, some of or many of the customers does liability planning because we all are fear of debt, that if something goes wrong,
Correct.
my family should not inherit my debt.
Correct.
What people fail is, Ganesh, they forget to do lifestyle planning. So when I talk about lifestyle planning, yes, my mortgage is covered, but I still have my grocery, gas, electricity, water, council tax,
Your day-to-day.
and day-to-day expenses.
Yeah.
So a small calculation is that, guys, add up all your expenses into whatever is your dependent's outstanding age, right, which you feel dependent. So if my expenses are again 48,000, going back to our old calculation.
Correct.
If I want my kid to have the same lifestyle of what I'm giving to them, just do a family income benefit.
Correct.
So it get paid every month £4,000 with RPI or whatever you want to do. Or having a good critical illness plan. NHS, I have huge respect for the team, what they have done all these years to UK. But again, they are seriously underfunded.
Correct.
For some certain...
Under-resourced?
Yeah, under-resourced, definitely.
Yeah.
And certain illnesses like cancer and other stuff, it's my personal opinion, is UK the best place? Probably not to get treatment. What's the best place, Raja? I believe America is the best place compared to UK for some specialist treatments. And you need money to go out and get treatment. Then.
Correct.
So critical illness will take care of it. And you also need an income protection. I know some of my clients who have some back issues, neck issues, where they cannot do their main job. So you need income protection to support it. So liability planning has to be done in the protection segment.
And the lifestyle
Planning has to be done under the protection segment.
Yeah, you're talking about all this stuff. What the question that comes to my mind, Raja, is like when we talk about such a big numbers, like 800,000 million protection and all that stuff.
Yeah.
What are we talking about? How big is the premiums? Are they crazy premiums or like? I mean, for example, let's go into a simple analogy or a hypothesis, right? I'm a person who's making 5,000 as a salary. Yeah. I'm talking about the net take home, for example. Yeah. And you know how it works in UK. Like there is a diaspora person who came into UK on a skilled worker visa within 2 years or 2 to 3 years time frame. He don't have a house.
Yes.
So the family has to pay for 2,100, 2,200 as a minimum rent.
Yes.
That is how London is, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the grocery stuff, kids' school, fun stuff, movies, trips, all that stuff, right? So the savings are very tiny. And most of the diaspora have aspirations of sending money back home as well.
Yes.
Considering all this, how do you think the framework should be? Like, what should be my percentage of premium that I should allocate to?
Fantastic. I'll just answer it in a different way, Ganesh. And
5,000. Let's go with the 5,000 example.
I'll keep it the answer as humble as I can.
Yeah.
You have a car as well, Ganesh, right? Okay, right. Good. Excellent. I've seen your car, so I could say that.
Yeah.
But probably the car worth around 35 to 40,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And if I politely ask you, your insurance should be at least around 1,500 pounds a year.
Per car.
Yeah, for car. Right? Okay. So if your 40,000 car has around 1,200 pounds insurance per year.
Understood.
If something goes wrong to you or your spouse, you're worth more than the car to the family.
True.
Right? Okay. So let's keep it in this way. A life insurance is a must because as long as you're there, okay, if something happened to me yesterday, Ganesh, my kids will cry emotionally.
True.
and financially. Okay. Yes, I did work very hard for last 20 years of my life, but still my young kids will cry financially and emotionally. But if something happens to me at the age of 85, my kids will cry emotionally, but not financially, because probably my mortgages will be zero.
They're not dependent.
They
on
will
you.
be independent,
Yeah.
and I would have taken care of them.
Correct.
Okay. Now, there is two concepts here, Ganesh: ability to pay and willingness to pay. Right? Your ability can pay can be anything, but please understand. At least have insurance premiums to a limit of whatever is your willingness. If your willingness is £10, for example, please at least have £10 life insurance, because you never know when that day comes in. Right?
True. So true. But my question was, Raja, is let's go with the reason I gave the synopsis or hypothesis basically to see like what is the ideal. I mean, don't give me exact right answer.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is like if a person who's speaking, you brought up the example of car, which is an example, exceptional example. But if a person who's earning 5,000, what should ideally be like somewhere around 5% for the
Yeah, that should be that should be good enough.
250.
Yeah, 250 pounds. But even, for example, 2% is also a good amount of ratio. If you could spend 2 to 3% of your income,
Salary.
salary towards protection, that would be fantastic to take care of your covers.
I think that's a good one. And what does that mean? Like in terms of coverage, we discussed about 800,000, right?
Yeah.
Is that kind of coverage you get?
Yeah, so for example, someone like me of 43 years age, let's keep as another 30 years as a cover. So probably a life insurance would cost you anything between 50-60 quid again, depending on the situation.
Per year?
Per month.
Per month. 50 pounds per month.
Per month. So, okay. And if you look at
That's 600 per annum.
Yes.
Per annum.
Per annum, yeah.
That's not big. Yeah. Okay. And you can get around, what's the coverage you're getting?
Okay. Again, guys, so you can go for as much cover as you want when it comes to life cover, as long as you could explain the reasons of why you need the cover for.
Okay.
So in my case, I have a 3 million cover, but I also have liabilities.
Correct.
I also have a lifestyle, and
That makes
it's
sense.
clearly explained. So that's how it is. Yeah.
Brilliant. So I think that answers my question. I want to call it out to my audience. Guys, if you're making 5,000, 2% at least as a life cover
Monthly premium,
per month will make a lot of sense, because it'll cover all of your needs that we have been discussing. I wanted it to be very, very directive. That's the reason I asked that question. Number two, I know I mentioned about mortgages as like low rate, but for a person who's living in UK, because we have seen lower rates than this.
Yes.
And we always feel like, it's a raising risk of, mortgages being more like, there was time like 2 years back, we have seen 6.5%.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you deal with it? Like, what is WealthMax way of dealing? How do you guide people when you see the raising mortgages?
I think the biggest concern for any customer has to be his age. You delay the process. People say that, Raja, let me time the market right. Okay. And my advice to them is, please enter the market as early as possible. The compounding effect, the inflation, the prices accumulation will take care of everything. Okay. You enter into the market whenever it is possible to you, the fastest you can. Because most of the times the mortgages in 2 years, there might be a remortgage, or in 5 years, there might be a remortgage. If the prices go down or if the interest rates go down, you'll anyway get the cheaper rate. Agreed?
True.
Now, when the interest rates goes up, again, sometimes the purchasing power rate slows down. So it's an opportunity for you to acquire the property faster.
Correct.
And that would be better. See,
Look, rates go down as well, right? I mean, comparatively. The moment mortgage goes up,
yes,
the property rates come down.
Yeah. So, but most of the people do waste. I've seen my clients wasting around 4 to 6 years or 8 years time, saying, "Oh, let me time the market." I would humbly say that it's hard to time the market.
Yeah.
It's better enter the market ASAP, and then the timing will take care of itself.
Yeah. And the primary reason for that, I just want to add there, audiences, market is not decided by few factors. It's a bunch of external factors. So it could be a war somewhere in the world, geopolitical situations. It could be oil prices. It could be
political situations.
It could be anything. It could be somebody winning election thousands of miles away from you could impact your rates. So you cannot control it. So all that you can control, I always say this, focus on the control areas. Like whatever you can control that and focus on that area. That's an amazing point. And now one more thing which I think very underrated and not really spoken a lot about is the estate planning.
Yes.
People talk about life insurance generally, but like estate planning, wills, it's not a big topic because we generally think, okay, why do I need a will? I'm a tiny guy. I only have so much of property. It's only one house I have. Like, do I really need a will?
Yes.
So, what do you take on that? Who needs will, by the way?
Yeah. To all the viewers of this show, I kindly request you that if you're married, you need to have a will. If you have kids, you need to have a will. Often clients say that, oh, Raja, I don't have much assets, or I don't have a house.
Yeah.
Why do I need a will? I think there's nothing wrong in thinking like that, because from the countries where they came from, for example, in India, we don't have this concept of inheritance tax.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Okay, so when a death happens, property simultaneously goes to...
Generally goes to your kids.
It goes to the
Or
kids.
wife
or
and kids.
Wife and kids.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the journey how it is.
Yeah.
Right? But in UK, it's a different thing. Okay, and Ganesh, last night at around 11:50, one of my client gave me a call, and he lost his friend. And the friend is a person who witnessed as well. Right?
Really sorry
And
to
he's
hear.
43 and cardiac arrest. I probably will visit him after this show. So will is very, very important. Because why? When something goes wrong, this is how the journey is, Ganesh. You would get a death certificate probably in a day or two. If the cause of death is known, if the cause of death is not known,
It takes
they might go to a postmortem, which
Yeah.
might take 15, 20 days.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Sometimes in postmortem, still the reason is not known. Then we go to pathology to get the stuff done, right?
So true.
Okay, that we cannot change. Once the will comes in, example, my wife cannot say that, okay, all these assets which are on my name is completely to her. You need to go to High Court to get the probate done, right? The first document probably the High Court needs is a will, because they need to understand what Raja want to say. And if they don't have the will, it is a huge delay from the court to get the probate. There might be family disputes. There might be unwanted taxes,
True.
which is like inheritance tax, right? A law called law of intestacy is applied. So a part of money goes to my wife. Then the remaining part is divided again between my wife and kids.
True.
And when my kids get that money, they have to pay something called inheritance tax.
Correct. A huge number.
Absolutely. There are two types of deaths again, first death and second death. Who will die first? Is it me or my wife? We don't know. And what I have seen is first death is more painful than second death. It's my personal experience, because when I lost some of my clients, I know a night where I met the client, we know that he might not survive 24 hours, but his wife still believes that he will be alive, right? So first death, no one accepts.
Yeah.
Second death, probably people are much prepared. And at least if you have a basic will, which explains your wishes to everyone, that would sort out majority of the problems of court delays, family disputes, or inheritance tax matters in case of first death.
Yeah, just for people's information, inheritance tax is not like 5%, 10%.
No,
It's 40%.
40%, yes.
Yeah, it's ridiculously high in UK. So you got to be really prepared for this, guys. I mean, I know we are talking about very sensitive topic of death and all that stuff, but we all know that's a reality. So it's extremely important to have a will, and I truly believe that it is underrated sometimes, and people don't care. But I think it's a very bad thing to do. They have to care.
One small request, Ganesh, which I want to highlight, especially when you write a will. I've seen some wills. People go online, okay, and they have minor kids. They have not even appointed a guardian for the kids,
They do randomly.
right? They go to some office and get a will done on a template.
Correct.
Where the executor is the solicitor who's giving them advice. My advice is, guys, especially when you try to do a will, the estate planner should understand your requirements.
Correct.
Please have a face-to-face consultation or a Teams consultation first. And once the estate planner understands your requirements, your demands and needs, then the drafting work happens. Go through the draft, try to understand, is this something you want? If you want any changes, let them know that, and then get the will done. This is something very important, especially when you take decisions on that. And yes, some of my clients does will, but there is another important concept called Ganesh LPS, that is lasting power of attorney. Now I'm an entrepreneur, okay, whether I eat or not, I need to ensure that all my employees or self-employed contractors get paid.
Good. Yeah.
Right? But what if I'm incapacitated, right? Who will take my responsibilities of paying salaries to my staff, or even for that matter, all my matters related to finance, like mortgage, remortgage, and this stuff? It's important. And who will take responsibility of my health?
Yeah.
So an LPA, which is registered in Office of Public Guardian, is so much important. Will is after death, Ganesh. But while you are alive and incapacitated, these LPS play a very important role. And just trust me, like an LPA cost is hardly 82 pounds.
Correct.
When you get them registered in Office of Public Guardian, and you need 2 LPS per person.
True.
So please do LPS as well. And if you have a portfolio with building your assets, and I know a lot of first generation Sri Lankan Tamils building their portfolios, but they do not have that trust planning that should be protected
Correct.
for the next 125 years, right? So
It could be sometimes, Raja, is like, they're probably not even aware of this, right? What happens is like you're so busy in your life.
Yeah.
And building, properties, making more money and all, but you don't even know how to secure it.
Yes.
And all these topics that we are talking today, audience, is extremely important to protect yourself from the entire thing of like, one is your unforeseen situations where unfortunate things happen. But yeah, that brings me to another question as well, Raja. Like, one is, we spoke about this death and all that stuff, that is fine. But when people are still there, like there is something called retirement planning. And that happens a lot back home as well. But I think it's extremely important here. Like, again, people do talk, I have my pension covered in my salary and all that stuff. Do you think retirement planning is extremely important as well?
It's very important.
Yeah.
Number one, Ganesh, I met a lot of successful entrepreneurs. I met a lot of self-employed IT professionals.
Yeah.
Who are very successful in their careers.
Or executives from corporate.
And I would say the age limit as 45 to 55. And when I ask them, do you have a pension in place? They're not contributing towards pension. And to all the youngsters who are watching this show, please start contributing from your salary from day one.
Yeah.
Every little pays. Do not postpone it. Couple of years back, Ganesh, a few years back, there was an option to opt out pension, and everyone, just to get some extra salary, opted out of pension. I think it's very wrong. So please contribute pension from day one, number one.
Correct.
Okay. Number two, right. People believe that, okay, fine, I invest my money in assets like housing, the rent will take care of it. What if another COVID comes? The rent might not come it, right? So it's very important to have a strong retirement planning. It can be done in many ways. Number one, please have good savings. Like ISAs, tax wrappers, mutual funds, stocks, diversify it. Do not drop all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, always.
Sometimes I would see people dropping everything in property, and changes comes, we get affected. So you need to have that strategy of dropping your eggs in different baskets.
Correct.
So probably mutual funds, golds, stocks, then yes, of course, asset classification as well, and having a good pension. Because life expectancy in this country is going up. Yeah. In 90s, I believe it is in 70s. Now it is roughly around 81, 82.
Correct.
And I went to a conference last year, February, and in that they said the life expectancy might go up to 90 in next coming decades, right?
Yeah.
Which might be true. So in that case, we need a lot of money for our retirement. True. And last but not the least is like sometimes people also go for big properties in their 40s. And what I've seen is, and I found it very fascinating, as they retire, they downsize their property and they drop that equity into products that give them regular income. Even that strategy is good, to be honest with you. Right? They were living in a 1.5 million Raja. The kids are settled in. We probably will move on to a 500,000 house, and the rest of the million.
And what I saw, Raja, there is like because of the property appreciation that UK has seen.
Yes.
A lot of you know what I'm talking about. Like if a property that was bought for 200,000 10 years back, what's happening in London. Like it can be 600, 700,000 today.
Yes.
And that could have not happened in any kind of investment.
Yes.
Right? Getting that kind of investing 200 but getting 700 out of a property in like just less than 10 years is exceptional. Fantastic. And that worked really very well for a lot of them. Being that said, I think we covered a lot of topics, but I want to ask one question specifically on WealthMax, right? You talked about like various services and all of them are served by WealthMax, right? At the moment.
Yes.
And are you expanding more? Like, are you doing something more coming in the years? And how do you serve? Like, I'm extremely interested in understanding the diaspora angle of it as well.
Yes.
Like, what is your differentiator for diaspora? Like, how do you serve diaspora and what are the additional services? If you can list out the services of WealthMax quickly.
Yes. Number one, Ganesh, yes, expansion. The good news is we are expanding.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, our products are financial services, ideally, yes. And we also do wills and estate planning through another company called WealthMax Estate Planning. But when it comes to diaspora, as a part of corporate responsibility, Ganesh, it has been my passion. I was also a teacher before. So I used to pick up a couple of youngsters, always from the universities, and also used to give them internships. Once they cleared their internships, I used to provide them the job and also provide them the title visa. And I'm so happy that some of the kids whom I have recruited 5 years back, they're getting their PRs in next month.
Amazing.
They bought their first property before they're 30.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of success stories. But I want to give a clear message to the youngsters who are first generation in this country, and also the youngsters in general. As you are getting educated, okay, what is the difference between you and an Oxford guy? Is as simple as it is. An Oxford guy might have done 15, 20 projects as he study. So you have to experiment yourself. So if you want an internship, want to understand financial services, come for a 1 month or a 2 month internship.
Approach WealthMax.
Yeah, of course. And in fact, and once you understand that this is for you, okay, or probably in the next holidays, do another project in some other industry. Okay, probably in technology. Do another project on pharma. Right? So by the time you finish your education, you will understand what is the industry you really like. And financial services, Ganesh, touchwood, is a fantastic industry. So please come, because in next 5 years, according to some research, 50% of our advisors might retire. And in next decade, they say 75% of the advisors retire, financial advisors. So it's better, please come. There's a huge opportunity, but especially for students with PSW. Ganesh, what I've seen is that a lot of students come to me, and when they have a PSW of just 6 months or 8 months or 3 months, and ask that, look, I need a work visa, can you please help me? I'm a very hardworking guy. In financial services, for us, you need qualifications. Right. You also need time to understand their strengths and weaknesses and help them to grow to a standard level of what the industry is expecting. So it takes time for us.
I think that's a good statement to make. I know, I mean, we can talk about this for hours, Raja, and it's finance, and I'm too passionate about as well. But yeah, I got your point. I think younger generation should focus on these goals, and you're expanding.
Please come early. That's all I can say. Please come early at least.
But yeah, let's close this conversation with one big tip. If I have to give, call out diaspora or anybody. Yeah. Or do you have any regrets in your financial journey? And do you want to have you learned anything from your financial journey? One quick tip for everyone. One of the tips you mentioned is about the credit score.
Yes.
But yeah, anything else?
Yes. Look, start your financial planning today.
Yeah.
Do not kindly postpone it. It's one tip. The second tip also I want to add up is please have adequate protection. Something goes wrong, your family needs that. If everything goes right, your financial planning will take you to greater heights. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Raja. And I know we've spoken about a lot of topics today, but I'll dissect it. I think extremely important to have liability planning, lifestyle planning. Those are the two things which I heard from today. And especially, we do have a lot of myths about, mortgages. We have myths about wills. We have myths about real estate planning. We have myths about, when to buy home. We have myths about a lot of other things. So I hope we covered most of it today. And we will come back again, discuss more about it. But yeah, do drop your questions in the comments if you have more questions on this. And I'll share details of Raja as well and WealthMax. You can reach out to them. And I'll come back again with more details in future. But thank you so much, Raja. It was an exceptional conversation. You shared a lot of knowledge, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ganesh. It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. See you again.